My name's Andrew, and today I'm going to expose how the global money cartel is pushing to control the world's money supply and all of the people inside it, including you. Because if they can control your money, then they can control you. You're going to learn exactly how they plan to do this, why they are doing this, and how you can position yourself to actually take advantage of this instead. In the previous video I talked about how big institutions, such as BlackRock and big governments, are buying up the world's crypto supply in an effort to control us. But that's only the global money cartel buying the supply. Imagine them actually being the supply. That's what they are trying to do by introducing central banking digital currencies, or CBDCs. These are digital currencies issued directly by the central bank rather than a commercial bank. This means that the government has full control and surveillance over every single transaction that happens with the digital currency. Full control over you. Pause to understand what that truly means for a second. Do you believe the government always has your best interest in mind? Do you believe the government wouldn't use their power in abusive ways sometimes? Do you believe the government wouldn't use their full control over the money supply to have full control over your life? I don't know about you, but that sounds a bit scary to me. I mean, isn't full freedom over our lives one of the things we are all after? We need to educate ourselves on how CBDCs can control us and what we can do to maintain our freedom and sovereignty. Let's dive in. Ever since the beginning of civilization, humans have been exchanging goods with each other as a means of survival. Because of course, we cannot produce everything for ourselves. Eventually, people ran into the problem that there was simply not enough space for one person to store all of their wealth if it was, for example, in buildings and properties. That's a bit hard to carry around as you travel. And it also required that you have someone that wanted to exchange your buildings and properties for something that you wanted from them. That wasn't always possible or practical. So humans invented a currency system where everyone agreed that a certain coin, banknote or certificate had a certain value that could be exchanged for other people's goods and services. And so money was created. But do you understand what happened here? We all need goods and services from each other. Our basic survival depends on this. And now, a system of currency has just been developed to facilitate this. So then, doesn't it naturally follow that if anyone were ever to control this system of currency, that they would have total power over the very survival of people? Well, correct. And humans have always tried to grab power from other humans. It's natural. And humans have tried controlling the currency in order to control other people. It has happened all throughout history. But because currency up until recently has only been physical, then it has been impossible to police at an individual level until now. With the advent of credit cards, digital banking and even more so cryptocurrencies, we've had the means to implement digital control over everyone's money transactions. The only thing holding them back are government regulations and mass implementation challenges. But believe me, they are trying. China has already implemented the digital yuan. Russia's Putin wants to speed up the implementation of their own CBDC. And US lobbyists tried to push CBDCs as well, but were held back by the House in a party line vote. Sooner or later, they will be successful. And what that means for you is the following. 1. They will have complete control. We have covered this one already. With a central bank digital currency, or CBDCs, governments can monitor your spending habits, freeze funds and block specific transactions whenever they want to, for whatever reason they want to. 2. They will program your money. CBDCs can be programmed to include conditions, such as expiration dates, so you have to spend your money by a certain date, and restrictions on what the digital currency can be spent on. This gives governments even more control over how you can spend your money and ultimately over you. 3. They will watch your every move. CBDCs can be linked to digital identities, allowing for detailed tracking. Governments then use this data for surveillance purposes, monitoring not just criminal activity, which would be a valid use of tracking, but also political dissent, activism, or behavior deemed undesirable by the state. And what the state deems undesirable is sometimes simply you having a wrong opinion that they want to silence and control. So then, where's our free speech? Nowhere to be found. 4. They will eliminate cash. If CBDCs replaced physical cash, this would mean that anonymous, untraceable transactions are a thing of the past. In the past, cash was a lifeline during troublesome political and social situations where banks were inaccessible that allowed people to still buy and sell things to stay alive. With that gone, you and I would be at the complete mercy of the governments. 5. They will be able to instantly control you. Usually when governments implement policies, there is some lag and delay so that citizens can adjust and find ways to live with the changes. But with CBDCs, governments can automatically just take money from you. For example, if you are behind on your taxes or there's a tax increase, they can instantly apply negative interest rates to encourage spending, totally bypassing traditional banking systems and giving them direct control of the economy. All of these are huge reasons that the global money cartel wants to implement CBDCs. And all of these are huge reasons that you should be alarmed because it's coming sooner than you think. You might think there's not much you can do about this, but there's one very big thing that you can do which will even put you at a huge advantage to everyone else once the CBDC systems are employed. You can invest in alternative assets such as crypto that cannot be controlled by the governments. But you might be thinking as well, won't crypto have no value if it cannot be exchanged for CBDCs? Because surely the government will still control exchanging your new CBDCs for crypto, since they don't want people easily acquiring a free currency. And you are correct. However, crypto will still be used to exchange for other goods and services. With the current level of adoption of crypto, there are already people buying houses, cars, goods, services. And by the time CBDCs roll around, the adoption levels will have crossed the threshold of no return. But what is the threshold? This is the same threshold the US dollar had to pass to have any value for exchanging goods and services. Because the only reason we use the US dollar is because we have faith that everyone else will also have faith in it. So when CBDCs roll out, most people will be forced to use them. But many people will still have access to cryptocurrencies as a rogue form of a freedom currency that will plague the global money cartel for decades to come. And the price of these cryptocurrencies will skyrocket since they will be so in demand because they will be the only currencies you can use to make transactions with total freedom. This is the hidden advantage of stacking cryptocurrencies in the build-up to the adoption of CBDCs. And now that you know this, I hope you have the double urgency to stack as much crypto as possible before it's too late. Because it's not the only reason you need to be actively investing in crypto. There are more developments happening under the radar that the global money cartel is attempting to hide. They are hiding them because if the public knew how rapidly these changes are happening, then mass adoption of crypto would happen even faster, and then it would be truly impossible for the governments to control it. We would have free money forever, and the global money cartel would be finished. Alright, in the next video I will take a more positive tone and reveal to you what the global money cartel is hiding from you. You will find it quite inspirational. I'm positive.